Hi everyone, just checking in for the day. We've actually left Kigali now for the next few days, and we've travelled to the country east of Rwanda. Tonight I'm staying in a town called Natende, which is beside a beautiful river, which we went to have a look at this evening, and it was just so peaceful, and there were birds, these cute little birds building these nests hanging from a tree. So yeah, it's a really pretty spot. We can hear goats in the background, the occasional cow, children settling for the evening, so it's really quite a peaceful place. Today we went to an agricultural festival, which was in Kigali on the way out, and that was really interesting. They had a lot of displays of things that people were growing, products they were making from those things. For example, there was chilies and chili oil and chili paste and chili powder. There was farming equipment and some solar power farming equipment, which we watched a demonstration of. We learnt about black fly larvae and how it could be used to feed pigs and other livestock. I can't remember exactly which. And that was quite interesting to hear about because I didn't know much about that. We had a look at composting. We had a look at some of the foods that are grown locally. So yeah, it was a really educational day and I really enjoyed it. One of the other things that I was learning about today, which I have noticed around, is that there's quite a few farms, well, many farms, that have crops that multiple things are growing in the same patch. So the plants protect each other, and then the farmers are also not relying on the one crop for their income. So they plant complementary plants that will sort of help each other grow. And the other thing that I've noticed is that there's sunflowers sporadically throughout fields or on the edges of fields. And that is because that's a natural pest deterrent. So the insects will go for the sunflower and be attracted to that and not the crops. So I thought that was pretty cool. Then we saw an amazing cow. Like, this cow, you've got to see it. And that is an Nyambo cow, which was just absolutely stunning to look at. I was speaking with our guide today, John, and he was saying that those particular cows are very disease resistant, but they don't produce a lot of milk. So they also get in other cows from other countries that produce a lot more milk, but they're a little bit less resistant to disease and heat. So that was that was a lot of fun. What I found really interesting about attending this show was all the different groups that work together to make sure farmers can improve their stock, get their goods to market, support local farmers who might be trying to break out of poverty. So there was obviously African Enterprise. There were some other ones that I recognise, but I can't remember their names now because it's been a busy day, but I will get back to you about that. So it was really great to see how everyone was just working together to basically just better things for everybody. And there was so much support there and so much information, and yeah, it was really great. So then after that we went for lunch, and then we travelled up to my favourite women's group, the basket and the mat making group. So I spent some time there, and they taught me how to weave the baskets, and we sat and talked for a little bit, which was quite nice. We spoke about children, holidays, the upcoming public holiday week that they've got and what they're going to do then. And yeah, just a lot of fun today. So while we weren't visiting as many places, the connections were really good, and the just witnessing how everybody's working together and just trying to, just a sense of unity in this country at the moment, which is really nice. And yeah, it's really nice to see everybody looking so happy, and just working to improve things. But African enterprise has quite a significant part to play in that development, and they are so widespread and they do so much stuff. I was speaking to John last night, and the things that I'm looking at are just, you know, tip of the iceberg. You know, they have a radio station. I think tomorrow I'm going out to see people sharing the gospel, which will be interesting to see how that's shared. There's just so many ways that they're reaching out. They've got things for men as well. They've got training courses. There's just so much. So they're really, really quite crucial, I think, to helping people who are vulnerable. That does include men, obviously, and the elderly as well. But it's interesting. I was talking to Eliane yesterday, and I was saying, oh, you know, my grandma, she loved goats and all that sort of thing. And she said, oh, you've got a grandma. And said that's actually really special to have a grandma because of the genocide. You know, there's not many people who do have a grandma. So there's echoes of that time, but yeah, I just think what an amazing place to be, just to see how everybody's becoming unified to make sure that doesn't happen again, and putting things behind them and moving forward. And I can't say that would be easy, you know, but there's this forgiveness, this culture of forgiveness. I just, yeah, it's really quite amazing. A lot of hard work, but quite amazing. And in all of that, John was telling me today that during the genocide they had 7 staff members. 3 of those people were killed during the genocide, and they weren't sure how they were going to recover from that. And now 30 years later they've got like hundreds of staff members. They'd have more if it wasn't for the US aid being cut, but yeah, they've just got, you know, feelers out everywhere, all across this country. You know, like there's 7 or 8 hours away they've got people, and right off the beaten track to people who were fairly isolated. And Eliane was saying, you know, that they're mainly forgotten. So yeah, it's really, again, just a privilege to be here and see how they're just working in those communities and just, yeah, just sharing with them, building community, educating them, and giving them hope, and just the relationships that they build. They go out once a week to some of these remote places to check in with everybody, and I think that's, you know, it's just yeah, just faith in action. So yeah, it's been a quieter day, but it's been a lovely day, and I certainly know more about farming than I did this morning, which has been really good.